So a couple weeks ago, I moved to Florida. I get settled in here. I'm in the Melbourne, Florida area, and Mark Zuckerberg, as always, is listening to me, tracking where I am. He knows who I am, what I want, things I'm searching for, and serves me very convenient advertisements, right? So this
Hmm.
advertisement pops up on my feed the other day here. Let me go ahead and get it pulled up for you. And I was just like really surprised. Um, this is a still image of it. I captured it. I wish I actually, I'm kind of bummed. I didn't, I didn't
Didn't actually apply.
save. Well, yeah, I didn't click on it to find the link. So it's Elevation Church. There's a campus. They have a campus in Melbourne. Who knew, right? I haven't searched churches down here, and when I got here, and I'm hanging out at Grace Church in Melbourne. It's been a lot of fun. Been there for the past few weeks, past actually a couple of months now, and it's just funny because I'm like, oh, we are holding worship auditions. Do you sing, play keys, guitar, bass, or whatever? And I wish I would have just like kept the link to the ad so we could have read it and clicked through. Maybe I could just do a quick Google search to see if I can find the landing page for it. But I don't know. What do you think of that in terms of a way to just get more volunteers for your team? Is just, hey, just spend a couple bucks. Who knows how much their budget is, but start running targeted ads in your area.
Yeah, I think that could work. I like what we've used before is like the local Facebook group. It feels a little bit more like community focused than like an advertisement. But
Totally.
yeah, I mean, seems like it. I mean, they put the ad out, so they must think that it'll work.
Totally. Yeah. And let's kind of jam on that too a little bit because I think we actually had a good recent experience for us. So we are in the Denver area here, and let me find that Facebook group real quick. It's called if you're in Denver as well, it's called Denver Area Musicians for Churches. Okay, I found it. So here is the group I was talking about. There's only 375 people in it, and it's just all musicians in the Denver area who want to play at churches, right? And not all of them. I don't think there's no like, hey, you have to be a Christian to be a part of this group or whatever. It's some of it's just like gig musicians, contract musicians, um, and yeah, it's great because you see lots of postings in here. People then comment, be like, yeah, I'll take that gig, and then you can connect with people. So we found someone. I found someone like this a couple months ago because we're short lead electric guitarists, and I was like, okay, let's go ahead and make a post. I wonder actually if I can find my posts in here, right there. So
Yeah.
and here's a little trick, right? So
Marketing
okay,
engineer.
I'm a little bit of a internet marketer, right? And you want to first of all catch people's attention. So I posted in this group. I got a picture of Slash, and it's just a ridiculous picture of a guitarist, right? But anybody who plays guitar is gonna probably capture their attention. Um, and then looking for, I think I edited. Yeah, so I edited this afterwards, but the post originally was this part: looking for an electric guitarist for this date at this church. At this time, rehearsal, 2 services, done by noon, right? So they get the exact details they know of rehearsal, services, and then even stipend, right? I'm just like, hey, if
Hmm.
someone's qualified, here's the stipend we'll give you for the morning. In this case, was $150. It's different in different areas and stuff, but like to get someone, at least in the Denver metro area, who like knows what they're doing, you don't have to worry about holding their hand when they show up and how to play. It's going to cost about that much. And then very quickly, I got all of these comments underneath within a few days of people who are interested, and then I DM'd them, and then we were able to make that happen, right? So that's a quick way to just to find potential musicians organically without the Facebook ads. And then I want to say one tip, because let's say you're on the other end of it, you're a musician in your area, and maybe you're wanting to find gigs at churches. Make sure you have ready a few links to like, here is me playing a worship song on the instrument that you're interested in. Like, have that audition material ready to go, because some people, I'm not going to be like, someone's going to randomly DM me, I'm not going to be like, you're hired, right? It's like, no, I need to make sure you actually
Yeah.
can play something, right? So these people in particular, I had them send me just Instagram, YouTube videos. But it would have even if it was if there was more competition. I mean, there was a few people who were asking if they could get the gig. It always goes to the people who reply the fastest and they have the best like assets on hand to show me that they're the right person for the job. So
Yeah.
anybody looking for those gigs, just take time, create a little resume, create like a little, even if it's like a Google Doc that has links to YouTube videos, recordings of you on whatever instrument. It's like, boom, a simple document you can send to someone and easily get hired. And then again, on the other end, as a worship leader, I think you need to like figure out what your budget is, make it clear, have the dates, the times, expectations all laid out. So then you're not like going back and forth and wasting a ton of time. We'll get back to the video in a second, but first I wanted to tell you about worshipministryschool.com. Worship Ministry School is our online learning platform created by the team at Churchfront to help you build and grow a thriving worship ministry. You can check out our course library. We have courses on how to implement the latest technology in worship, as well as how to build and lead a worship band, how to grow as a musician, how to stay organized, and how to lead your church spiritually through worship. So if you're interested in joining our program, go to worshipministryschool.com and click this Get Started button today.
Yeah. And I mean, hopefully you don't have to do this forever. I think that good musicianship on stage invites good musicians to audition from within your church. Like
Totally.
if I attend a church and I'm like, oh, their music is good, like they sound good, I want to be a part of that. I think personally I might be also the kind of person that would be like, oh, their sound isn't great, I wonder if I'd be able to serve in this way because I'm skilled in that and I could make it better. But I've heard a lot of people talk about musicians like, oh, if the music is good, they want to be a part of it, rather than like if it's not good, then it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. You're building a culture, standard of excellence. Here's a thought that occurred to me, because Adam, you and I talk about kind of macroeconomic trends and stuff happening, and like, we're both moving across the country to different parts of the nation, and we're just thinking about these things a lot. And I actually wonder, because there's a pretty significant age demographic difference between the vibe I get in Littleton, Colorado, where South Fellowship is, and here in Melbourne, Florida. And Littleton, Colorado, everything, real estate is going up like crazy everywhere, but like home prices in Littleton, Colorado are at least 2, potentially 3 times more than here in Melbourne, Florida, which prices out a lot of young families and young professionals, right? And that demographic usually makes up a big chunk of these worship band members that we're looking for. And that's why I think, I don't know, and I could be completely off base. I'd like to hear people's opinion on this, and your opinion on this too. But like, you think about a church like, in general, a lot of churches are getting older, right? Like younger generations are finding church, they don't want to be part of church, and hopefully that'll change in the future, but it's looking like it's continuing to decline with younger generations. But then it gets worse in areas and cities where like young people are just completely priced out of that area. Like they can't, because eventually it gets to a point where you can rent and stuff when you're in your 20s, but eventually you want to own a place, start a family, and get into real estate. But a place like Littleton, it's like hard to do that, because it's just, after 10 years, it's like completely unreasonable. So anyways, I don't know. I just share, because then here in Melbourne, Florida, like there is no shortage in the Grace Church worship band. Like every position is stacked with multiple people. This church is like grown a ton. Like, of course, a lot of people are moving to Florida, but also a lot of young people are, because they can afford to live here. Therefore, there's less of an issue finding in staffing those roles. Assuming it's it's already a healthy church, it's growing anyway, which definitely helps. But I don't know if that's a valid observation of just like, even if churches in really overpriced areas, like especially in California, now Denver, maybe Boise, Idaho, are going to have harder times, like Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, will have harder times finding younger people if they just don't really live around there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point that I hadn't even thought about much. Yeah, we have a lot of older folks on the worship team at South Fellowship, and a lot of those people have just been a part of the church for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there have been some younger guys that have joined, some younger girls too that have started singing, and even through the youth group, we've had times when people from the youth group will join in the worship team for the main service, and that's been awesome. So
Yep.
um,
Yep.
yeah, it
Yeah.
might just be, I don't know.
Who knows how this all plays out and stuff. Back to the Facebook ad thing.
Yeah,
I do think it's an interesting way to do it. So I imagine, like, you know, again, I wish I would have saved the link and like we could click through it, but I'm guessing you run a Facebook ad, you could spend, $5 a day or something on a Facebook ad to get, and you could target people in your area, like by interests, right? Like they go to church, they like worship music or whatever, they like music, and you can however they target me, dude. The thing is, though, the crazy thing about
yeah,
Facebook ads, as someone who runs Facebook ads normally, is you don't even have to put that much data into it. Like Facebook just knows. Like you just give them your text and a photo and the area that you want to target, and like it is freakish how good the
they do
algorithm
the
is at
rest.
finding people. They definitely listen to you through your phone, because I didn't even know that Elevation campus existed until I was having dinner with some people the other night around here, and they're like, "Yeah, there's an Elevation campus down here." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I didn't type anything to my phone. I didn't look it up, and then the next morning I see an ad to just attend that church, the same church. So
Yep,
it's always
it's
listening.
wild.
So you guys can leverage the power of creepy Facebook or Meta and Instagram, because it's going to run them on both Facebook and Instagram, same company. People are funny who are like, I don't like Facebook. It's like for old boomers. And so I'm on Instagram. It's way better. And I'm like, it's all the same company, right? It's like
Yeah,
same. It's just so funny. Like you go to the App Store. Facebook has 2-star reviews and Instagram has 5-star reviews, and it's like Mark Zuckerberg doesn't care, because it's like it's all our platform anyway. Um,
yeah,
but when you click the ad, have a simple landing page and like a form. I like to use you use Google Form. That's probably the easiest, cheapest way. And get simple things like name, contact information, even it's just like name, email, phone number, and then just call the people up, get to know them, see if they're worth exploring and having them audition to help out. So I thought that was pretty creative, Elevation Church. Good job. And I think a lot of churches have actually tried that. That's the vibe I got from the Facebook group post that I made. Someone's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen churches do that before." That was the first time I encountered that. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you check out the links down below this video, specifically our worship ministry toolkit, which is going to give you our recommendations to all of our favorite gear and software for modern worship ministry. Hit that thumbs up button, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.